Hi, this is the Hotbox, telling you that this video might have some sensitive stuff in it, so take a second if you need to and go check out something else. Otherwise, please enjoy the show.
What is worth a laugh? Some people laugh at a TikTok, some people laugh at things that their pet does, and I always laugh when the police put up those silly little fan posters of me everywhere. God, they need to learn how to spell. My name's not Wanted. Comedy brings us together, and as we grow, so does our sense of humor. Or at least it's supposed to. Some of us grow to be able to appreciate a wider range of comedy, including more subtle and poignant material. Others don't advance their humor past the middle school lunch table and then get a Netflix special for it. I'm saying this because it calls into question what we, as a society, have been reinforcing as acceptable humor. It makes us think about the ways that some of our humor preys on vulnerable or outdated stereotypes and motivates us to change our perspective on these things. Or again, it's supposed to. But some of us, be it for perceived career gain or to fulfill an ego, will ignore all of what I just said in favor of a dry opening that alienates half of your audience and glorifies violence to women. Why would anyone do this? Well, let's find out. Buckle up, because today we're examining the rise and fall of Matt Rife and his idea of comedy. Let's get right into it. Welcome back to the channel, new and returning, young and old, fans, haters, and everyone in between. If you're new here, why not subscribe? It's quick, it's easy, just takes a second, and you can always undo it, but it really does help out the channel a lot, so thank you. So who is Matt Rife? Well, the proper answer is that Matt Rife is a comedian who comes from Ohio and is best known for his strong social media presence and his crowd work moments. But depending on who you ask, you may get several different answers. Some will say he's the guy that's always all over their TikTok feed, some will say he's a victim of the current vicious online cancel culture, and then others will say he's that talking scab with a jawline. I'm others. Now, I actually fall into the first category. I was familiar with Matt Rife's work at an early age from the few times I watched Wild 'N Out, but it was nothing that I remembered until I saw him again on TikTok. And to Matt Rife's credit, he's made me laugh before. There are things that he's done and said that I've thought, that's not bad. About. Regardless of your immediate opinion on Matt Rife, it's clear that Matt has possessed an interest in comedy from a young age. His Wikipedia page lists his first stand-up experience at 15, and that he only accelerated to prominence from there. This increase in attention caused dedicated online users to dig through his social media history and uncover a collection of racially insensitive and homophobic posts. While it should be noted that the date on these posts would indicate that Rife was 16 to 17 at the time of the posting of these are still not a good look on Matt Rife overall. And his response when called out by Brandon Wardell was just to be offended at being called out by someone in his own industry. He essentially said jokes are just jokes. Matt, criticism can come from anywhere, and that includes people within your own field. That's part of how you grow. You take advice from your colleagues. Now, as I said, one of Matt's notable roles was his stint on the comedy show Wild 'N Out. Hosted by Nick Oops Another Kid Cannon, this show pits two teams against each other in improv comedy games. Matt Rife made several guest appearances, and he stood out for being the white guy on a predominantly non-white show with a predominantly non-white audience. That's me. He also looked significantly different, which is just the beginning of people's observation of this. Now, Matt Rife wasn't spared from controversy on Wild 'N Out, stemming particularly from an encounter he had with Zendaya.
Spit that water out so I can get your number, please. I didn't touch her. She can handle herself. Don't be touching on her like that.
Matt Rife continued in the public eye when he became romantically involved with Kate Beckinsale in 2017. It's here that Matt first expressed the sentiment of feeling pigeonholed, or feeling trapped in a niche. He grew sick of just being the boy toy of a celebrity, and that created a wedge in his relationship. But I'm not here just to talk about his love life, and you know what? That's okay. Who needs a movie star Oxford graduate when you can star in such memorable roles as Brandon Bliss in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, or Doyle O'Doyle in Gamer's Guide to Pretty Much Everything. Hey, come on, everyone knows that one.
You're gonna be giving us your candy, or you're gonna have to deal with this.
Ah shit, my statistics fell out of my pocket. Matt Rife went on to produce several comedy specials. I also wanted to bring up something else I've observed. Matt loves to pitch himself as unique. In an interview with HoteLiving.com, Matt Rife claims he, quote, doesn't draw much inspiration for his routines and that he's pretty unique. In an interview with DigitalJournal.com, Matt Rife emphasized that he has a, quote, unique outlook on things. Matt Rife also defended fellow comedian Dave Chappelle. For those unfamiliar, Dave Chappelle released a comedy special in 2021 where he made several offensive jokes about transgender people. He continued to include this kind of material during his tour. The following year, Chappelle was offered to host Saturday Night Live. Some of the show's writers planned to boycott his episode in a demonstration of solidarity with the trans community. Matt Rife tweeted in support of Dave Chappelle, saying that all the writers should strike and leave the whole show to Dave Chappelle. Here's how hard this guy was meat writing. He sat outside NBC studios with his other comedian friend with signs offering to write the material for Dave Chappelle. And when TMZ interviewed them about it, they basically said they would cross the picket line if it meant they could advance up the social ladder. Rife says that he's, quote, just there for a job, and, quote, how could you be mad at someone who does what you do? Because criticism is supposed to work like that! Matt went on to continue to be successful. It's this era where Matt Rife was doing his TikTok crowdwork clips and seeing insane numbers in the algorithm. All of this accumulated in the most recent event that entered the online gaze, Matt Rife's latest comedy special, Natural Selection. And this is the clip that everyone has been talking about. It's right at the opening.
I've only been to Baltimore one time. I ate lunch there, and the hostess who seats you at the restaurant had a black eye. A full black eye. And it wasn't like, what happened? It was pretty obvious what happened. And we couldn't get over the fact that we're like, this is the face of the company? Like, this is who you have greeting people? And my boy who I was with was like, yeah, I feel bad for her, man. I feel like they should put her in the kitchen or something where nobody has to see her face, And I was like, yeah, but I feel like if she could cook, she wouldn't have that black eye. So, just testing the waters, seeing if y'all are gonna be fun or not. Just wanted to see.
This joke falls short because not only is it just blatantly misogynistic, it's not funny. Taboo and darker humor isn't something that I'm opposed to, but when topics like this kind of violence are brought into humor, the punchline can't simply be the shock. There needs to be nuance, or some overarching theme, maybe even turn it into a criticism of the very thing you're joking about. There were infinite possibilities other than this. In fact, here's an example, and this one's free, unlike your teeth. My friend's dad, when we were growing up, and for reference, I grew up in a small, very white town. Like, I'm pretty sure it's on the list of former sundown towns. This place was like a time capsule, but not like the cool ones that they bury outside of Nickelodeon studios with like the Michael Jackson CDs and shit. This place was a time capsule for like traditional gender roles and racism. And that's where my friend's dad comes in. My friend's dad, we'll call him Ford. He was like a caricature of a 1950s era man. He looked and acted like a guy who had conversations like this. Boy, I tell you, Lou, it sure is hard out here. Got plenty on my mind. You want to talk about it, Ford? What kind of pansy shit is that? I gotta go have a cigar and beat my wife about this. Immediately following this special, Matt Rife seemed to go on a bit of a spiral. Here's how bad it got. When people called him out about this joke, he posted a story on Instagram with a link that he said was for anyone who got offended by his jokes, and he linked to helmets for people with special needs.
Cancel Matt Rife! Bitch, you can't cancel me. I'm not your gym membership.
Also, he decided to beef with a random plastic surgeon over Instagram after the surgeon posted a TikTok saying that he did a jawline for a client and they're now being canceled. The doctor didn't even say Matt Rife's name, by the way, so I think it's funny that someone with "don't take the internet too seriously" in their bio is acting like this. Like, anywhere Matt Rife perceives disrespect, he will act. And so when this little kid on TikTok called him out, Matt Rife took shots at his mom and said that his mom buys his Christmas presents with OnlyFans money. Seems like a pretty childish defense and a misogynistic one on top of everything. Even if that was true, if she was making her bag that way and supporting her damn kid, then good for her. I don't care if his parent is a sex worker or not, I care that Matt Rife saw that as ammunition.
My goal is to now make you cry.
If there's anything we can take away from the way Matt Rife has continued to handle his career, it's that clout is a disease, and no amount of fame or platform or any kind of desire to fit in with the big boys is worth doing this to your audience and to women in general. Matt Rife frustrates me because he has such potential to be good. But by trying to be something he's not, he's holding himself back and hurting people in the process. This video was a long time coming, but I wanted to make sure I gathered information, put it together as comprehensively as possible, and delivered it to you guys in a way that I was happy with. So thank you for watching, and that is everything that I have for you today. Let me know what you think down in the comments, leave a like, and share the video around. Spread the word. Whenever you're watching this, I hope you have a good rest of your day, and an even better tomorrow. I will see you in the next episode of whatever I make. And until then, this has been The Hotbox. Bye! Whoops.